This time around, there's the new patch, and the new patch finally brought some new content that I think the game really needs. Now, of course, just like what we previously said, the new game mode and whatever updates that they're receiving is not going to save the game. Maybe still far from it, but at least you guys have something to look forward to daily, I suppose. So basically, it's a random in quote unquote in like daily rotation, I guess. So the skills that is available to you will be changed daily. The final boss would also probably change and have their buffs randomized. Maybe today it's the second day, so it's the Dark Rakne, and then you have to, and all your normal attacks are actually boosted, which is probably beneficial for classes that have like normal attack focus, I suppose. Yeah, rifle normals, I guess. But other than that, I haven't seen like most of the modifiers or what else can it actually be turned into yet. But since it's going to rotate like daily, hopefully we can see like different kinds of gameplay, um, different kinds of like modifiers, I suppose, that would actually allow us to play very, very distinctly different than the ones that we currently have. But looking at this as this is like their first try, I don't really think it's really going to be that more complicated than this. Now, of course, moving forward, however, we do have to understand that there is still the whole um, Dark Files content that's coming out later, and I believe that is going to probably come up with another new weapon or armor set. I'm not sure about that as well, but it's pretty good that we have this Lysil exploration standing quest or something, because at least you can now finally have an end game of some sort for everybody who can don't really like dual quests and don't really want to farm the materials required through those dual quests to get those high-end augment capsules, I suppose. But because now you can just farm like the LC version, which is like the I don't know what LC stands for. Maybe the seal version of the capsules, which means that if you are like if you wanted a better capsule but you don't really want to farm for it, I guess these are the ones that are going to be obtained by the most of the players who actually run the Lucio exploration quest. It's a great good thing for free-to-play players and maybe even new players who actually enter the scene, because it's untradeable, but it is literally the just a slightly nerfed version of the original capsules they are based on. Like for example, the High Male Domina, and um, there is also like the Giga Master LC. I think those are actually pretty useful to, especially to build like the top, highest end of like budget augments in the future. I bet everybody will probably be switching over to this augment now as soon as they are able to obtain enough quantities of them by running the seal standing quest quite a lot. Because they are actually pretty common to drop, even more common than like I guess other stuff, I suppose. And the Growthman also drops for you as long as you're able to hit enough damage into the boss, I suppose. That's a good thing, because that means nobody can just AFK and standing there, because they will probably be receiving like 0 rewards or something if they are not contributing. Which I'm not exactly sure how it actually works, but yeah, it's fine, I guess. Now, the whole gameplay thing is good and all, but I guess I just wish that it's maybe could have been better. But so far, I guess this is probably pretty good enough for now. I don't really think it's going to be a gameplay mode where everybody is going to do it all the time, because I can definitely see a burnout, especially if you do like one day doing the same thing over and over in one day, and then especially because there is only 8 players as well. Sometimes if your group that you are able to play with is not that strong enough, or they can't really like clear the sectors quick enough to get all of the buffs, most of the buffs, then the boss at the end will be much harder. And unfortunately, that happens, especially if you are like partying with your friends. Unfortunately, unless your alliance go to the password maybe. But yeah, other than that, it's just coordination is actually much better than especially like if you just use the normal chat and try to explain to them, okay, this day, this is the meta, and let's just go for this. And then, go for the stars to get extra attack on that modifier that is the number one, and then go ham. The rest are like optional. But, it's still pretty cool to see all these things like being randomized here and there. I mean, yeah, it does you had to wait for like one day for them to change, but that's still better than like literal nothing that we have previously before August, which is like, well, it's pretty good. So now, I guess the new weapons also drop from it, but good news is that you also can exchange for a weapon, which is pretty cool. Not gonna lie, pretty cool. Then there is also like the weapon is like literally way weird. If you actually unlock the potential to level 6, it's going to give you like negative 14% potency, which I guess even the most budget of augments can cover. I guess if you go for the BIS, you have another extra percentage of potency, I suppose. But yeah, not everybody's able to do that. So I guess. And you have to remember as well, the Dark Frost is coming. Maybe there are new weapons as well. So yeah, take care of that one as well. Just don't go all in. Just maybe utilize the LC capsules as much as you can, because those are very easily obtainable. And yeah, I guess that's the gist of it in terms of content. The rest of the other things I wanted to talk about is basically AC scratches. Yeah, pretty cool. No complaints here. If you are a fashion person, I guess there's a lot of like cool stuff here. I'm just much more hyped for like next collab, which is about the sci-fi toys thingy. But hey, I am truly glad that they actually announced like the collab with the uncle from another world, or Isekai Oji-san. And yeah, I think this kind of collab is pretty obvious, because this uncle is a pretty huge fan of Sega Saturn times, I guess. Back then, when 17 years ago, before like he actually got Isekai. And it's if you watch the whole anime, it's just a very nice and light-hearted comedy, I suppose. Nothing very like nothing like crazy, to be honest, but quite underrated in my opinion. And then of course there's the Oshinoko collab that's coming in September. I don't know what kind of stuff, but I believe it's just going to be the same thing again, just costumes and maybe some metal camos. There is, I don't know. But I think it's mostly just costumes and emotes and stuff like that, I guess. Not really much other stuff, I suppose. Because it's not really an action title, I suppose. So there's that, I guess. And then the rest of it is just a lot of people are still on the fence of this whole thing here. The second half of the August content is probably going to be the more or less the same thing again. A limited time quest, and I'm not sure what else is there. Like, there's a lot of limited time quests. They are literally testing testing if it's actually workable or not for the players, and then if it doesn't work, it just be sunset and be gone like that. And I just wish we had much more permanent contents other than like this. But since the story is also like a very weird kind of modern moment, I guess, in a build-up moment, so I don't really think we can really progress to another new zone or something that is actually existing outside of alpha yet. But that's just what we are going to end up with for the rest of the year, I suppose. The only good bet that I'm trying to think of is maybe next year they are going to release something different, I suppose. But To be honest, the game is still alright. Just make sure not to burn out yourself too much by farming. But uh, anyways, there's a lot of great games releasing as well. I don't really want people to like force themselves on like, oh, you need to play PSO2 NGS only. Nah, go play other games if you have time. Maybe enjoy single player games. Or maybe even go back to like the older titles as well if you enjoy like old Sega's titles back then. Yeah, you can still play them by emulation, I suppose. But other than that, that is all for the update for this August. I'm going to enjoy myself on running this LaSille Standing Quest and just hopefully be able to get some Perminas out of it. And yeah, good luck for everybody, and I see you guys next time. Sayonara.